This is the definitive list of isekai anime that I've seen and subjectively assessed by me. I've watched a lot of isekai anime. Some I never realized were at the time that I was watching that were. But hey, no one is perfect, and who doesn't want to have a date with Truck-kun and escape the dreary world we live in and then journey to a land of fantasy races and magic powers? Sounds great, right? So this is the list I've compiled of all the isekai ever. Let me just add another tier before we jump in. That I've watched, mostly. Let's start off with the recent gem, and let me preface this with fuck these titles, I'll call them as I see them. Vending machine isekai, or that weird anime where Protag-kun has way too much love for vending machines. People keep saying how good this got, but damn, the dialogue is just so either annoying with the main character or generic with the support. I'm throwing it in D tier due to the boredom it gave me in the first episode and a half. I lost interest. Next, we have the isekai cop drama, or Law and Order Mixed Fantasy Race Unit. Elves with badges and guns. Anyway, premise is good enough to be C tier even if it was boring. I'm gonna try to watch that again. Next, the girl that found a very unique costume in a VR MMO, or Panda Bear VR MMO. I watched a few eps, didn't realize it was an isekai. Weird. Another D tier. Now, we have the bed and breakfast in a fantasy world featuring ogres, aka yokai or oni, so I dubbed the Airbnb with my Shrek love interest. It's a cute one. I'll toss it in B tier. Not bad. Now, an isekai worthy of the title of shit tier. This is just bad all around. Story bad, dialogue bad, character interaction gross and terrible. Straight to jail. I dub this the OP stereotype featuring lollies. Shit tier, you know your place. Okay, this was a good one. One that flew under the radar. It's like Trash Hero, you know, the Korean manhwa, and Wolf of Wall Street had a little bastard that got sent to a shit world where humans are in forced labor camps. Great comedy isekai, A fucking tier. So here we have totally not a hentai isekai, and it was just so very generic and completely has a hentai plot. Without any of the hentai, the protagonist even looks like a generic hentai guy. So this had an interesting plot aside from that, but the protagonist is so dull in the anime, I could not keep watching. The manga is actually a bit better, but honestly, not worth the effort to read this. Going in D tier. Nah, it's shit. Shit tier, fuck it. Okay. Here we have not another Demon Lord isekai. Yeah, another gamer sent to another world based on the game they were playing, but this time without dated graphics and no real plot to speak of other than a weird community building fixation. I don't know, weird anime, C tier, moving on. Okay, Sword Daddy Isekai. Now this is the anime that Vending Machine Bro wished it was. Great story, interesting parent-kiddo dynamic with the sword dude and little cat girl. Great show, so glad I watched it, nothing wrong other than it was a short one. A tier 100%. Now this weird little fella wanted to be both mecha and fantasy. I don't know that it ever made up its mind. Kinda interesting, but you need a lot of patience with it, just like your parents do with your shit. Shit tier, but slightly better. It's a shit plus. Now we have another anime that wished it was other better ones, Standing on a Million Corpses or something. The title was written weirdly. I read a bunch of the manga, but I got bored with the anime quickly. D tier, really wanted to enjoy it too. Kinda disappointing. Next, Digimon Adventures. I just don't get the amount of love people have for this. Maybe I was just too old when it came out, but I don't know. It seems like it was trying to be updated Monster Rancher. You guys remember that? I don't know, it's hard to judge a kid's show from like 20 years back, but I'll toss it in C tier. Take Monster Rancher with you. Another one I watched and didn't realize it was an isekai. Not sure if that says more about me or the show, but I remember enjoying it and thought it was cool. The protagonist actually bagged the FMC, so C tier. Next, we have a fun one about bugs. Spider Isekai was a cool one. It's like if Tarantino wrote That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, but probably less violent. Cool story, interesting premise, A tier. Ooh, here we got Drifters. Oh man, the opening was so crazy with the first person view. I thought I was gonna get motion sickness and fucking epilepsy. The story is so interesting and the characters all got that lovable anti-hero vibe. Also, Jesus Christ is one of the big bads. Yes, this is epic on that scale, S fucking tier, boys. Okay, so now we got that guy that was reincarnated as a sociopathic lolly wizard fighting in a Magic World War II on not Germany's side. This one is crazy, and the fights she has with Not God are super amusing. A tier for sure. Oh boy, another fan favorite. You're gonna hate me for this, but you may not hate my other videos. Please subscribe to see more content and comment below if I missed your favorite isekai. Now, ReZero, or as I like to call it, Tracksuit Weeb Tortured in Another World, featuring weird computer fetishes with the Rem and Ram characters. Why do more people not discuss this? I feel like the author is sending a message with that, but maybe I'm just reading into it too much anyway. I digress. B tier, but that's just like your opinion, dude. Here we have another gamer sent to another world who is a demon lord that was summoned for unclear reasons to fight another demon lords. That plot is kind of all over the place, to be honest, but the animation is what really shines. Fun watch with good action. A tier. Now, the infamous brother and sister gamer duos that go on to take over the world they got sent to, with the weird, complex dynamic, they are really one of a kind and a great watch. The plot and action are all so well done. No Game, No Life shines bright on this list for its creative use of strategies and plot perspective. S tier, of course. Moving on. Okay, now we have an uncle that got isekai'd and came back. I really enjoyed this one. The uncle-nephew dynamic and the old out-of-touch uncle is hilarious, and the subplot of the FMC being a former bully of the MMC, it's too funny, especially when they make those faces. Another A tier, what can I say, may have been S tier if they hadn't been so hampered by COVID and constant setbacks. I love what I saw of the show and I need to watch the rest ASAP or read the manga. A tier is where it lands. Now we have an oldie but a goodie, about a boy that is summoned by the OG of Tsunderes to be her familiar. It's not half bad, a bit dated, but it's a decent watch. C tier for me. Ah yes, the Proto-Sao. Dot Hack has an interesting story, and I keep trying to watch it. I plan on trying it again, but I can't get through more than one episode without dozing off. D tier is where you land. Alright, here we have the fantasy Batman. With enough prep time, he can defeat anyone, and he has a Dragon Ball Z-esque time capsule to prepare for them. This is just a great isekai with a much deeper story than you realize, but you won't realize until the last episode. I love the huge clue in the goddess name, Restarte. Like, pretty hilarious. A tier for sure. In another world, but I have my phone. No problem. Siri, Google how to beat this foe. Fucking D tier. Bland and uneventful. Okay, Grimgar. It's 100% grim and gnarly, so this school class gets sent to another world where they need to grind up just to survive. This got dark unlike episode 1, and every episode keeps up the dread. Anytime there is hope, it gets smashed by a goblin hammer. A tier, but it's just below S. It's fucking good. Mausama! Devil is a part-timer is the story of a demon lord sent to our world to work in a middle management where he barely makes enough to get by and battles random entities that are also have come here with his loyal manservant that dutifully follows him. You know, this description doesn't give it justice, but this is fucking S tier, no doubt. Okay, so we have another gamer sent to another fantasy world, and he has a cursed event skin that makes him a skeleton in appearance, but still fleshy. Weird, but fun. B tier. Oh boy, this is my favorite dumpster fire isekai. It's what happened when that time I got reincarnated as a slime, got drunk, and had a three-way with Dancing the Vampire Bun. And is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon while ReZero jerked off in the corner and added to the puddle? Then they tried to abort this misshapen bastard with a clothes hanger, but it was just too angry to die, so it grew up and it banged a dragon in the show. This show is just the thing that I'd make if I was 13 and trying to make the most edgelord over-the-top anime I could think of, and it will always have a bloody spot in my heart, so fuck it, S tier. Okay, so there's this wrestling champion from some unknown organization that is decidedly not NJWP, who is obsessed with his dog, and he gets sent to another world and may have a beast fetish, because he gets like weirdly affectionate with beasts and beast people, like enough to make me uncomfortable, and that's saying something. I still can't believe I watched more than 3 episodes of this. Shit tier, down at the bottom, you little bitch. We got another banger isekai, my dudes. It's the story of a weeb shut-in that gets sent to another world and gets to pick one thing to take with him. So what does he do? He throws out an Uno reverse card and he forces the goddess that is taking him to join his adventure. They join up with a pyromaniac and a masochist for the adventure of a second lifetime. Konosuba is indisputably S tier. Put it in. Next, we have a new Isekai villain introducing Bookun, the evil bastard that offed Mai and sent her to another world where she had to start over from childhood and create books for her to read. What a twist! This is honestly a great show, and if you enjoy learning while you watch, you'll probably discover some new and interesting facts. I call this Isekai by the thing you love most. A tier show, no doubt. Log Horizon was the trapped in a video game world isekai that was for mature audiences. It wasn't all flashy moves and waifu. They were there, but that wasn't all there was. A whole aspect of starting over is the civilization in a new world and building it up and dealing with the weird things like not knowing how to make food that tasted good. It is such a fun watch and deserves so much praise. I just wish they would have kept up the energy throughout the new seasons, but I'm mostly judging it primarily on season 1 and giving it S tier. Kick rocks if you don't like it. Now, a weirdly controversial one, Shield Hero. It's about a dude that gets sent to another world because he read a book, and everyone hates him for some reason, Weird anime. Season 1 was decent up until the end, but the plot was everywhere, and Naofumi-sama was just so money through our poetic justice on that thought with the false accusations. It was great, though B tier. Season 2 was just boring, just saying. Okay, moving forward, onward and up, we have the Isekai where the protag comes up on the wrong end of another villainous Isekai catalyst, Knife-sama. And as he lays there, life slipping away, he feels so cold he wished for 2 things: destroy his PC hard drive, cultured, and make it so he feels comfortable in any temperature. Because of this, when he is reincarnated, he is now a slime with a whole new life ahead, and it's a long way to the top of the demon world for a lily slime, but with the help of some choice friends and alliances, Rimuru becomes the top dog, S tier. Here we have the Isekai where everyone says the main character is so ugly, but he's not to his waifus, and honestly he's just playing nothing really special. Okay show overall, C tier. Next, Death March, well, I like this. I thought it was an interesting concept, and story was going places. Too bad it only got 1 season, but it was pretty good. Work to Death anime goes B tier, better than average. Okay, we have the Granddaddy Goat Isekai. It's the novel that basically created the tropes of the modern Isekai and started a trend that continues today, introducing us to Truck-kun. Story-wise, Mushoku Tensei is just so good at everything. It's not fair to other shows. World building, character building in depth, magic and power system. The animation is movie quality and the music puts you in a trance with its beauty. While many will argue the merits, I say without question, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation is S tier. 5 stars, 10 out of 10, would bang again and again. Okay, enough gushing. Y'all remember Inuyasha? Inuyasha. It was an Isekai before Isekai was cool. Girl goes to another world, meets an angry cat demon, man demon that had a sword that can grow big enough to chop the world in half, and they go on adventures. Maybe fall in love? It's been a minute. Sorry. B tier. It's pretty good. Okay, Overlord. It was pretty dope, and it had great characters in its world building, but the plot is pretty thin, even for an isekai, and music never quite got the itch scratched, but I still enjoyed the majority of the series. One of the OPs was a real banger, not gonna lie. Overlord goes hard, A tier for sure. I just want to take a minute and listen to this jam, because it's just so much fun, and when you're in that show, it fits perfectly, not gonna lie. Okay, so SAO was probably one of the first anime I watched knowing it was an anime. I didn't get into anime until I was much older, like mid-20s, and SAO to me was so cool. Season 1, it was so fun to watch, and getting stuck in a video game with real consequences, where if you die in the game, you die in real life.
I die in the game, I'll die in real life!
Wow. What a concept. The ending was rushed, but what a ride the Ironclad arc was. I don't really give a fuck if you hate it. SAO for me, S tier, fuck it. And SAO Abridged is S with 3 pluses, S++ tier. SAO Abridged is good, not gonna lie. Thanks for your time in watching this. I hope you stuck around to the end. Please sub if you did. I'd love to hear your thoughts if I missed a great isekai or if you think I put it in the wrong position. Comment below and we can discuss it at length. I know you ReZero stands are waiting to come at me. This has been the Saucy Senpai. Thanks again for watching my unhinged content.